The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the June 2nd or June 3rd? Today's the June 3rd edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email, send it off to steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tigers den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we got, for the most part, a rally going on. You got the Dow up 75, S&P 20, NASDAQ 100, 124, Russell's up 23, gold's off $27, silver's down 7 pennies, light sweet crude up $1.32, natural gas off 4 cents, copper is down a penny. The GDX, which I've got up on my screen, we talked about how it completed a TD9 count top yesterday. We're seeing it pull back. If we look at the daily time frame chart, what it is suggesting to you and I is that the GDX will pull back towards the 5108 area. I say about because 5108 is the green oscillator and change line. As price moves up and down, so too will that line. The reason why that is a likely outcome, number one, it's a really likely outcome when you get a TD9 count pattern, regardless whether it's a top or bottom, is a move towards that oscillator and change line. But another reason to suggest that that is a likely outcome now, if we look at the 30-minute time frame chart, that's the bottom panel, you'll see a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. It gave you that signal with a little dark cloud cover at 1:30 yesterday afternoon. That price just moved sideways. Of course, we gapped down this morning. We are now trading below profile support at 52.66. So this suggests lower price. That lower price could actually even fill the gap. If we're to fill the gap, that would get us down to the level of about 50.72. 5109 is where the current daily oscillator and change line is printing. If price moves down, that is going to also move down, and that would get us towards that gap fill out there. So that seems like the likely outcome for the GDX. This would be only day number one of a retracement. You could get 2 to 4 days in a normal bull market. That would be your normal knee-jerk reaction low. So that's what's going on with it. Now, out of curiosity here, Franco-Nevada went ahead and did it negate its TD9 count top yesterday? I think that it did. I'm just putting this up here on my screen. Or was that the actual? No, it did negate its TD9 count top. So this is also pulling back towards the 170 level. Now, even though it negated its daily pattern, Franco-Nevada that is, it still has a weekly TD9 count top. So in order for Franco-Nevada to get all out bullish again, we need to see it close above that TD9 count top. That's the week of April 25th. And that high is 178.74. So the daily is suggesting, hey, this thing looks good here, but we still have to respect what's going on the larger time frame. The monthly chart just simply has an A to B equals CD pattern on the upside. Prices attained more than the 1-to-1 level. So any bearish reversal candle would confirm a top there. So that's going on with the GDX. I don't Don't see. Let's go take a look at daily equity future contracts. So let's start with them, see what they are doing. We've got the ES Mini, as we've discussed yesterday, a new profile form. That new profile wraps around the prior profile. This suggests that we should see a consolidation market out there. The top of that profile on the daily time frame, and that is the likely target, is 59.82.85. Well, it doesn't trade to that. So it's probably 59.82.75 or 59.83 is the likely price target. Now, price closes above 59.83, then you'd be in full breakout mode. The NQ right now is in full breakout mode. What I mean by that for the daily time frame is price remains above the top of its profile and its green oscillator and change line. Both of those are very bullish conditions. In the case of the Dow equity future contract, still a TD9 count top with price trading sideways. In the Russell 2000, we have an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. We do not have a bearish reversal candle. Price is trading above the center of its current daily profile, 2090. If we close at above 2091 today, we're likely going to go target 2123 out there. Let's go from here. Let's go dive down into the intraday charts out here for the ES Mini. Let's start with those. The first thing to notice is we had a nice TD9 count top that went ahead and formed at, let me get my cursor. I believe it was 9:30 or 10, but let me just make sure out here. I think it was by 10, but let me just, good Lord, what the heck is going on? But sorry about this, folks. I know I got a number of things open up, but I wasn't expecting this. Yeah, it formed at 10 o'clock. It immediately was negated during that next 30-minute session. I don't see any other topping signals other than a TD9 count top on the 15-minute time frame. That completes here in another 3 minutes out there. More likely than not, this suggests that we make a run, or the ES Mini, that is, makes a run for the top of its profile, or there is a new A to B equals CD pattern that's in place. This is sponsored by the 120-minute time frame chart, and that would get us up towards the 60-11 area out there. So other than 15-minute time frame, TD9 count pattern that will complete at 11:15. You'll want to note the high. Right now, the high is 59.6875. So if price trades above that, it would negate that signal and add to the idea of a further rally. Let's try putting up the NQ charts out here, see what they are signaling to you and I. These are the intraday charts. This will take a moment or two to go ahead and populate. So while it's populating, did any of you catch the, so they've got two World Series going on, College World Series that is, the men's in baseball, the women's in softball. Did you catch the Oklahoma-Texas Tech game last night? If not, you should have. It was in essence, it was the top of their ninth inning, which would be the seventh inning. And and it was Oklahoma was down. They haven't lost a game in like a gazillion years out there, literally almost a gazillion years. And they were down 2-0, and it was 2 outs. The count was 0-2. It was the ninth batter in the lineup. He's only hit 2 home runs all year. And on that next pitch, yep, there was a woman on second base, I believe, and went ahead and tied it up with a home run. And it was, as now I don't have any skin in the game for either team. Just I love sports, and I love sports when you see that. And then Texas Tech comes up in the bottom of their seventh inning. That's the last inning for them, or unless it goes to extra innings out there, and they were able to score a run as well. It was a great game. I was kind of watching between the men's College World Series, the golf. Yesterday was all the guys that are trying to get in, or we're trying to get in to the U.S. Open. So that was kind of exciting to see some of that out there. Just a great evening of sports. Okay, in any event, you got the NQ charts up on our screen out here. You can see a 10-minute and a 15-minute TD9 count top. So that says the high of the day so far is likely what you'd be watching. And if we close above that high of the day, 21,677.25, you're likely to see a further rally out here. You've got an A to B equals CD pattern on the 2-hour chart as well. This is suggesting higher price. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. You know, there's a couple of slides that I want to go ahead and share with you because I don't have my black background, my e-signal system up on the screen out here. But these are questions that typically float in from time to time. So the first one we're going to take a look at is U.S. dollar index. Now, this is a quarterly time frame chart. The snapshot of these charts that I'm going to show you were taken within the last hour or so out here. You can see a nice A to B equals CD pattern that was confirmed with a sell the D point pattern on the quarterly basis. This nice bearish engulfing candle where my cursor's at, that has just simply led to a sideways consolidation since April of 2022 out there. So anybody who tells you that the dollar's toast or anything along those lines, they're full of it. They're totally full of it. It's been in a consolidation pattern for 2 years out here. Here, if we take a look at the U.S. dollar index, for some multiple time frames out here. The upper right shows you that price could be targeting this rising price channel line out there, the trend line out there. Well, it turns out the bottom of that trend line is also the bottom of the consolidation. The quarterly basis out here, daily time frame, we're trading in between both a rising and a falling price channel out there. So again, we've already tested the bottom of this consolidation on the quarterly basis a couple different times. Strong area out there. Prices trading above profile resistance as well on that quarterly time frame. We take a look at the DAX out here. So this is kind of interesting as we take a look at maybe caution signals out there. The DAX has made a new all-time high. Did it last week. It did it in terms of U.S. dollars. That's the top panel. And then it did it in terms of yuan and yen. The DAX in terms of yuan is panel number 4, and in terms of the yen, it is the bottom panel number 5. Now, what the DAX has not done is made new all-time highs in terms of euros or Great British pounds, the currency that it more likely trades in out there. And so what we're looking at here, those highs were made back on March the 3rd. March the 3rd. We're now June the 3rd out there. So a couple months ago. That is a gigantic, ginormous caution sign for anybody that was long the DAX out here. If we take a look at the S&P 500, it happens to be near its all-time high, maybe at its all-time high this morning. I'm not going to pull that chart up, just in Canadian loonie, not the other currencies out there, but it is in terms of Canadian loonie. If we take a look at gold, gold is testing the top of weekly rising price channels. So I've got two different price channels. I've got really three price channels out here. The horizontal ones, those are the green horizontal lines out there, and then the diagonal ones. The white one is for a larger time frame. With inside that, we've got those yellow diagonal systems, and those lines were put in there months ago, maybe years ago even. For all I know that I haven't put those in there and haven't touched them in quite a while out there, and we can see that the rally from about 5-6 weeks ago ran right up into the top of that channel line. That's the yellow one. Now, what we're dealing with here is that white level of price able to close above this area here where we're trading. We should see move up towards 35.47 out there. That's its weekly horizontal trading range line that would be next in play. But prices up against resistance. We take a gold in terms of Middle Eastern currencies. We're still below its all-time high, but we have broken through, or it has broken through, a number of descending trend lines out there. So this is something to be paying attention to. Also, with regard to the major currencies, gold has not made any new all-time highs in terms of any of the major currencies out there. So again, still a caution sign out here with regard to Goldilocks. Often get a request for GTE to take a look at the Hang Seng or some of the other international markets out there. The Hang Seng, which is panel number 2 from the left, yesterday went ahead and formed a Gartley buy pattern. It did it when it formed that bullish hammer candle. Price traded right up into that oscillator and change line, as I've mentioned to you, or I mentioned it earlier. When we get a bottom pattern or a topping pattern for a daily time frame or any time frame out there, price typically makes a move towards that oscillator and change line. Exactly what the Shanghai did last night. It doesn't have a bottom pattern, but more importantly, exactly what the Hang Seng did. If we take a look at the Nikkei has a sell the D point top. Price is below its oscillator and change line. May want lower price. The FTSE needs a close above 87.9846 to negate a TD9 count top. Price is trading between that top, but also above its green oscillator and change line. So it's kind of neutral right now. It is uncertain as to what its intent is. The DAX has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. That would be negated with a close above 24,325.87, but you do have that daily top out there in terms of U.S. dollars. We take a look at the Hang Seng out here again. Just go back to that real quickly. You've got that Gartley buy pattern in the daily time frame. The weekly is traded above its green oscillator and change line. That's a bullish condition. The monthly is also in a bullish condition, trading above. It doesn't have a top out here, and it is trading above a TD9 count breakdown resistance level. Back to the DAX. You've got that daily top. You've got a monthly top. We just formed a TD9 count topping pattern as we ended the month of May. June will complete that pattern, and the weekly just simply needs a bearish reversal candle to confirm a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. I would suggest that if the DAX for its weekly time frame does in fact confirm a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, that could be a significant, and when I say significant, I mean a significant all-time high out there. So that's what's going on with regard to those markets. Now, let's go ahead and get into some of the requests that have come in. A couple came in yesterday. First one from Christy, CRWV, and Christy is looking for an entry point out here. Well, this thing has negated a TD9 count top today out here. That TD9 count top lasted for about 5 trading sessions. There's no topping signal on the daily, the weekly, or the monthly. You're looking for an entry point. The best entry point that I can probably give to you on a runaway vehicle like this would be to buy a 1 or 2 day retracement. If you're trying to jump in here, just jump into the pool, hold your nose, and hope that you don't sink to the bottom. But there is there is a wave number 7 topping signal that is present. That is letter G. There's just not enough data out here to really give you great technical analysis. But I can share with you that you are in wave number 7. You negated a TD9 count pattern. But as you can see here, rallies or retracements have basically lasted either 1 day. We just recently had a 2-day retracement. So that's what I would be looking at there, Christy, for CRWV. You also wanted to take a look at the STRL. So let's pull that chart up on our screen out here. Here we've got more data. So this, when we take a look at the daily time frame, what we see out here is a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top that is being negated as we speak. Now this as well is forming wave number 7, letter G. So I'm assuming these both are in the same a sector, if you will, maybe not, but they sure have similar looking daily time frame charts out here. So you are in wave number 7. It's good that it's negating a TD9 count pattern. Rhodes momentum indicator signal on the daily time frame, but the weekly time frame says you confirm a TD9 count top on Friday, this Friday, you complete that pattern next Friday. Now, just because I say it completes the pattern next Friday doesn't mean we're going to see higher highs out there. It just says be careful. So the daily needs a lower high, not today, it'll be tomorrow or the next day, whenever, a lower high to confirm that wave number 7 pattern signal that is out there. That's the only topping pattern. Now, the monthly chart has got a TD9 count top. We're likely targeting that level being the high from the trading month of January. Now, that swing point has volume of 9.7 million shares. Last month, we traded into it with 11 million shares. When you close inside a swing point, which it did last month, with volume, it increases the odds that you're going to go ahead and test that high. So what the monthly chart is saying that it wants to do, it doesn't tell us the time frame, but what it wants to do is get up towards the 206.07 level. Well, with the daily negating a Rhodes momentum indicator top, the weekly being in bar number 9, we know that top can come in on the week following bar number 9. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, looks like maybe that high doesn't come until next week. At this stage here, Christy, I would be patient for both of these. This one's got the better topping signals out there, so be patient and see what takes place over the next week or so. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs? Trade wars? Analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento for the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at the ticker symbol SAN. This is for Greg. Greg's looking for an entry point out here. So, Greg, on a daily time frame out here, what we don't have is any kind of a so we do have a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. That top would get negated with you're looking for an entry point. That would get negated with a close above 808 out there. What price may be doing is pulling back to test support. And support is either going to be one of the three following areas. 780, that's the top of its daily profile. Now, if price were to close below that, Greg, then we'd be looking at a buy zone which exists between 763 and 769. If price were to close below that, we'd be looking at 714. Those are your buy areas, so those would be your potential entry levels. Now, we can see since this thing formed a nice bottom back on April the 7th, we have seen a couple of one-day pullbacks and one three-bar pullback. Other than that, it has been strong like bull. On a weekly time frame, we've only seen one-week pullback out there. This needs a bearish reversal candle on the weekly time frame to generate a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. If it does that, price should then pull back to 757. Well, 757 gets us back towards the buy zone of that daily time frame. So watch this week, see if you get a bearish reversal candle. And then that could be your entry area, 757, 763, 769. Monthly chart is strong like bull. I can see A to B equals CD patterns out there. It looks like it wants higher price. So that's what we see when we take a look at SAM. This thing is one gigantic momentum trade to the upside. So to the extent you want to get into it, may just simply be a 1 or 2 day pullback out there. So I hope that helps you out. Robert writes in, would like to take a look at a couple of stocks out here. The first one is going to be a UAL, United Airlines out there. So United Airlines right now, today, you're looking for an entry point. So this has a TD9 count top. That went ahead and formed out here on the trading session of May the 12th. We then have an A to B equals CD pattern, but it didn't complete that. Price is back testing the top of its profile. It's actually traded above the top of its daily profile. It says it wants to go target that TD9 count top. The top of the profile, 81.24. Price, the volume on that swing point, that's that TD9 count top, 12 million shares, closed inside of yesterday with 6 million shares, so quite light volume. Today so far about 1.6, so again, light volume again. Nonetheless, the price closed above the top of its profile should go target that TD9 count top. If it takes that out, you could be looking at a move up to 109.11. The reason why we say that is because we got a weekly TD9 count bottom. Price right now is testing the top of its profile. If it closes above 80.79, that would be a bullish outcome. If it closes 2 weeks above that, that would be a super bullish outcome and suggest a rally to 109.11. Monthly chart, trade above that green oscillator and change line. Trade above profile resistance as well. So for the monthly time frame, it's bullish. So we understand why Robert is looking for an entry point. I think right now you've just got to be patient. 2-bar pullbacks, 2-day pullbacks, 2 to 3 day pullbacks. That would be something for you to consider and take a look at. So the monthly is bullish. The weekly looks to be pretty bullish. You'll know more on Friday than you will on Tuesday out here. And the daily, it's trying to close above profile resistance. You also want to look at SoFi. Maybe SoFi's charts are a little bit more clear, but let's go find out. SOFI is the ticker symbol out here. And we take a look at SoFi for its daily time frame. This has a sell the D point top. That formed out here with this bearish engulfing candle. Where's my cursor? There we go. That was on the trading session of May the 14th. Now, you're looking for an entry point. The entry point here, Robert, was when price pulled back towards the bottom of its profile. On the trading session of May the 21st, it got back to the low of 1274. The bottom of that profile, 1267 out there. That was a 3-bar pullback. We're trading above the top of the center We're traded above the top. We're traded above the center profile area at 1338. It's a bullish structured profile. That now suggests to you and I, Robert, that price should make a run for 1455. The weekly time frame, though, is running right up into resistance. We're not going to get to 1455 until we clear the current weekly oscillator and change line. That is at 1365. So that's your number. If we were able to close above that, that would get us back towards the 1455 level. The monthly chart supports higher price as well. You're looking for an entry point. Your entry point would be somewhere between 1267 and 1238 out there. That's the buy zone of the daily profile. Robert, thanks for writing in. Hope that helps you out with those two requests. S&P inside the Tiger's Den wants to take a look at Coinbase out here. So let's put up COIN on our screen out here. Coinbase has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal for its daily time frame, has not generated the bearish reversal candle. What we have out here, S&P is nothing more than consolidation with inside its profiles for the daily time frame. That's between the range of 228.92 all the way up to 264.49. The weekly chart says if you can clear the daily oscillator and change line, again, that number out there is 258 and change, 259, let's call it. If we're able to get above that, you are likely to see a run towards 302.40. 302.40 would be its TD9 count breakdown level for the weekly time frame. Monthly time frame is bullish, and that is trading above. I don't have any profiles out here. I don't know why. Let me see if they're just turned off. And if so, we want to turn them back on. There we go. Yeah, don't see the profile. So let's go ahead and add those TAS market profiles out here. Where we go? TAS boxes. Oops, not that one. Wanted the T3. Did I put the T3? I did. Let me get that off there. And now let's go take a look at the monthly time frame. Well, even though I put the profiles on, it's not picking them up right now, but it is trading above its green oscillator and change line. That is a bullish signal. So with regard to Coinbase S&P, you just got a consolidation with inside the daily profile out there with strong support between the 228, 231 type area out there. I hope that helps you out, S&P. As always, thank you for your request. We're going to go take a look at BGZ out here. This is for Sharky. I believe the question was, should he stay in VGZ? So on a daily time frame, what VGZ has is a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. That was confirmed back on May 22nd. And then on May 27th, you have a new profile that formed. What price is doing today, it's testing support. That's at $1.15. As long as price holds support, I could not tell you to sell. I mean, I could, but I won't. And I wouldn't, and therefore I'm not. So as long as price holds $1.15, you're in good shape. Now, the volume on the swing point from just 2 days ago, May 30th, was 449,000 shares. Today, so far, you've done 426,000 shares. So price is pulling back with volume. That doesn't mean it's going to bust through support. It doesn't mean it's going to bust through that swing point out there. But if it does, be careful. Be careful. Why? Because you've got a top, and they need to be below support, and I would say it's lost its momentum as well. And you could get a move back to the 102, 105 level. Now, I'm not saying that that's a sell. I'm saying that that's where price would likely head to, and that's where you would need to make that decision what's best for you. The monthly time frame is bullish, all-out bullish out there. Same thing is true with regard to the weekly time frame chart. What you like about the weekly time frame chart is you haven't taken out the highs from 2 weeks ago, because that could have triggered a TD9 count. We don't have that as we speak right now. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at ticker symbol here, NIO. This is for Duncan Steve inside the Tiger's Den. So, Dunk, this formed a TD9 count bottom pattern 2 days ago. It negated that signal. Hold on, let me make sure here. Give me a second. So the low of that pattern is 352. Yesterday's close, 352. The TD9 count bottom pattern is still in effect out here, believe it or not. It is. So what this should do here is it should target resistance, which is between 367 and 370 is what it looks like, 370 being the oscillator and change line. If price can clear that level, you're looking at a move towards 376 to 380. So it's got the daily bottom. It is also testing a swing point. Did it test it? It did. So your swing point that you're looking at out here, Dunk, is from April the 8th. Volume there, 78 million shares. So far today, yikes, 35 million shares. So price is testing and rejecting a swing point with volume. This suggests that price will at least get back to test that high again, 341. So if it can test and reject that swing point with lighter volume, that would be the better outcome. But you do have a TD9 count bottom for the daily time frame. The weekly chart out here is a consolidation with inside its profiles, but really the consolidation is between the bottom at 327 and the center at 426. If price were able to close above 426, you could then look at the resistance level at 5.25. On a monthly time frame out here, monthly is looking. Let me see here, is the low of 361. Did we get any close below 361? Last month's close was 354. So we do not have any kind of a bottom signal. Price closed below a small hammer candle, but your key support here is 308. If price gives up 308, this is on NIO, you're headed lower out there. So watch that to the downside. Watch the daily TD9 count bottom. By the way, that gets negated with a close below, and that would then tell you you're headed lower. That would get negated with a close below 352 out there. So that's what I see when I take a look at NEO. Hope that helps you out, Duncan. And as always, thanks so much for playing the game. Let's give Stevie a request out there. Jane wants to do the same thing, wants to take a look at Tesla. TSLA is the ticker symbol. Tesla right now is consolidated with inside its daily profile. Support, which was tested yesterday, 335.02. Resistance is at 367.71. I do not have a topping pattern for the daily time frame. I do not have a topping pattern for the weekly time frame. Prices above resistance, both the green oscillator and change line and profile, suggesting over time it wants to make a move towards 433.20. The monthly time frame, prices trade above its green oscillator and change line, as well as profile resistance. This suggests that it wants to rally further as well. Again, that price target to the upside would be 433.20. We don't get to 433.20 until we clear the daily profile at 367.71. Yesterday was day number 2 of a retracement out there. We can see and take a look back at its dance steps, the cadence of the market. Typically, this does a 2 to 3 bar pullback, 2 to 4 bar really, did 4 bar pullback back on April the 8th, and then we've just simply been rallying ever since out there. So that's another thing to be watching for out here on Tesla, Jane. So I hope that helps you out, and thank you for your request. Dennis in West Palm Beach, who is traveling inside the Tiger's Den, wants to take a look at ticker symbol. This is for his son, I believe, LLYVK out there. So we take a look at LLYVK. You don't want to say that 3 times in a row. The daily time frame negated a TD9 count top, so that ordinarily is a bullish signal. However, what price is doing right now, it's trading below profile support, or is it? There's a profile that formed yesterday, the bottom of which is 74.75. Yeah. So we're trading below profile that formed yesterday. That's kind of a bearish signal. Now, what would that bearish signal tell us? Well, it should tell us that price should get back to its breakout level, Dennis. That's at 70.99. However, and here's the however. Yesterday was a higher low. The day before was a higher low. The day before that was a higher low. So even though it doesn't have a bottom pattern out here, it's got bottom-ish type of signals that you'd be looking at out here. So maybe this is going to rally up towards the bottom of its profile at 74.75. The weekly chart is in favor of that as long as price remains above the top of its profile. That's at 73.24. We're at 73.30 right now. The monthly time frame chart is simply a consolidation with inside its profiles. That range is from 53.82 all the way up to 77.02. So back at the ranch, we take a LLYVK out here. To the downside, you're looking at 70.99. To the upside, you're looking at 74.75. This could be. Don't know that it will be. Well, at this stage, it's only day number 2 of rally to the upside. All I can do at this stage here is really give you your support and resistance areas. I don't think it's giving us a real clear signal as to what its intent is. So, Dennis, hope that helps you out, and safe travels to you. Tim wants to take a look at REKR. So let's pull those charts up on our screen out here and see what the Wrecker is doing. REKR is having a beautiful day. It's trading out at $1.50. It is trading above profile resistance and daily oscillator and change line resistance. The weekly is trying to take out bearish structured profile resistance at $1.27. Sure seems like it's going to do that. The signal here for the daily time frame and for the weekly time frame without any kind of a topping pattern. In fact, this negated a wave number 7 pattern, so it's really bullish daily. It's really bullish weekly. Price wants to go target the 222 level. That's its daily and weekly TD9 count breakdown areas, and the monthly profile resistance levels at $2. So I'd say Wrecker is headed up between $2 and $2.22. Tim, hope that helps you out, and thank you for your request. Let's take a look at AQST. This is for Dan inside the Tiger's Den. Let's pull up these charts. And Dan is more interested in the long-term aspects of AQST. So for that, Dan, the very first thing you want to see on a monthly basis is for price to close above its oscillator and change line, which is red. And that is at $3.13. We're trading at $3.15. It's the early part of the month. If price starts trading above that $3.13, spreads it by more than 2 pennies out there, that would likely be a bullish outcome. Now, that bullish outcome would then take us up to $3.28. $3.28 happens to be the top of its weekly profile. $3.20 happens to be a TD9 count breakdown resistance area. So what does this say? It says AQST basically right now, we're targeting resistance on the daily, we're targeting resistance on the weekly, we are trading into resistance right now on the monthly time frame. So what does this need? This needs a close above, and I'm going to say it needs a close above the weekly dark cloud candle from March 28th out there, and that high is at 339. That swing point has volume of 5 million shares. We've only been trading for a day and a half, and you're at 2.3 million shares. So price is moving to that swing point with volume. That should at least get us to 328. But what you'd like to really see it do is close above that dark cloud cover candle high. That number is 339. So Stevie's call here, you close above 339, you're off to the races. You're headed higher out there. Longer term, I would say off to the races ought to get you up towards the 559-ish level out there. So, Dan, that's what I see when I take a look at ticker symbol AQST. Now, we come back to this break. We're going to have just a few moments of time, but Dan wants to take a look at, let me second here. See if I can put this up here real quickly. It's SAM, and his question is, what the Sam hell has happened to Sam today? And I don't know the answer to that question, but we're going to try to go find out. SAM. Oh, don't put it in twice. Sam is not a signal, and I don't think I'm going to get to it in the next 10 seconds out here. Oh, you're going to get a TD9 count bottom? You're saying what that happened to it today? You're getting a TD9 count bottom pattern. Dano, we'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. So we're still looking at ticker symbol SAM. This is for Dan F. So Dan's question was, is today's TD9 count bottom a good TD9 count bottom pattern out there? So, great question. Here's what we know about the daily time frame. Yesterday, price closed inside its swing point from back on March the 18th. That swing point had volume of 223,000 shares. Yesterday, we closed inside it with 342. When you close inside a swing point with volume, odds favor that price tests that low. We're not testing the low. The low out there is 215.10. Today's going to be bar number 9 of a TD9 count. That low can take place on the bar following bar number 9. So maybe tomorrow it gets down to test and reject that swing point out there. That would give you both a daily test rejection of a swing point as well as a TD9 count bottom pattern. So I don't think today is the buy out there. And I especially don't think so with regard to weekly trading below its TD9 count bottom pattern, which is at 223.07. So if we close the week below 223.07, I think more likely than not that perhaps that TD9 count on the daily time frame is more likely to fail. So I think we've got to wait. Today is not the day. I don't think it's the day based upon yesterday's volume as price moved back. So why don't you be patient? Let's take a look at this tomorrow or on Thursday out there. So I hope that helps you out, Dan. Quick peek here at intraday charts. Let's just see what's going on with the New York Stock Exchange. The advanced client oscillator. Are we still below the zero threshold level? That's going to be our left-hand chart, and the answer is no. We're just above it right now. Now, we would need 2 consecutive closes above the zero threshold level. That's the bottom area that we're taking a look at. If we get that, that suggests we have higher price out there. There is a wave number 7 top inside the New York Stock Exchange, but a close or a tick above, quite frankly, 19,993.74 would negate that signal out there. So, folks, stay tuned for all the great programming. Thank you for joining me on Terrific Tuesday. I do hope that's what you have out there. And I will look forward to seeing you on Wonderful Wednesday. So take care. Be safe out there. We'll see you soon.